channel. It's your girl Nurse Lee, and on my channel I talk about nursing, beauty, and lifestyle. So if you're interested in any of those topics, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you. And the notification bell below so that you will be notified when I post my videos. So today I'm going to be talking about preparing for the NCLEX exam. I'm going to be just sharing some tips and advice on what I think you should do when preparing for the NCLEX exam. So if you're interested in the tips and advice I have, please keep watching. So to keep everything organized, I do have a list on my phone as to what I want to share with you guys. So the first tip or advice I have for you is that when you're preparing to take your NCLEX exam, take as much time as you need to study for your exam. Do not rush and try to follow the crowd. Take as much time as you need to study for your exam, but also don't take too long to take the exam because you don't want to forget what you learned in nursing school. So you should know how much time you need to study for the exam so that you can, map out, okay, I'm going to study, from this date to this date, and then I'm going to go take my exam. Like I said, don't rush because, all your colleagues are taking their exam, 2 weeks after they graduate. That's just an example. If they're taking their exam 2 weeks after they graduate, maybe they're ready for the exam, but I don't want you to follow the crowd, I should say, just because they're rushing to take it. That doesn't mean you should rush to take it. Take as much time as you need to study for your NCLEX exam, but don't wait too long. Don't take too long because that's when you start forgetting things. Me personally, I want to say I took like a month and a half. About a month and a half to study for my NCLEX exam. That's how long I felt like I needed to study for my NCLEX exam. So that's as much time as I took to study. And after that month and a half of me studying, because that's what my goal was, I, gauged myself, evaluated myself to see if I was ready to take the exam, and I went to take the exam. So I personally don't think that was a long time, but I felt like that was enough time for me. That's as much time as I needed to study for my NCLEX exam. So, the second tip I have for you is to do your research and find out what study material will work best for you. Figure out what resource will work best for you that will help you when studying for your NCLEX exam. If it's Kaplan, go ahead with Kaplan. If it's Uworld, go ahead with Uworld. Saunders Review, ATI Review, whatever, and that's just to name a few because there's a lot of NCLEX resources, preparation, comprehensive preparation out there for you to use to study for your exam. I personally used Uworld. If you're interested in knowing how Uworld helped me pass my exam on the first try, I will link it down below because I did do a video on how Uworld helped me pass my NCLEX exam. So you can go ahead and check that video out if you want to know the specifics of Uworld. But yeah, that's what I use. So everyone is different. If there's a study material that you've done your research on that you're comfortable with using, stick to that resource. Use that resource to help you study for your NCLEX exam. Also, don't forget to use your study guides that you've made in nursing school, like all those study guides that you had to create, because I know I created a lot of study guides in nursing school. Use those study guides as you're preparing for your exam. All the study materials that you used in nursing school, pull them back out because you're going to need it to study for your NCLEX exam. So don't forget about what you used in nursing school to help you pass those exams, because I would advise that you pull those back out and use those to help you when you're studying. Use those study guides that you created in nursing school to study for the NCLEX exam as well. Another tip I have is for you guys to do practice questions. Do a lot of practice questions to expose yourself on NCLEX style questions. If you struggled in nursing school with NCLEX style questions, because those NCLEX style questions, they really tripped me up in nursing school. So if that's the same for you, I would advise you to do a lot of those NCLEX style questions to expose yourself, to make yourself more aware of more questions, to know how to answer more of those type of questions. Do a lot. I cannot stress this enough. Do a lot of practice questions, because that will help you out when preparing for your NCLEX exam. Also, focus on your weakness. Focus on it. If your weakness is select, audit, apply, focus on taking a lot of those questions. If your weakness is cardiovascular system, focus on taking a lot of cardio questions. Like, focus on your weakness so that you can be better prepared when you're studying for your NCLEX exam. So if I were you, I would do a lot of questions that are my weak points, and then advance to my strong points. So so go from weakest to strongest, so that you have more time to, because you know what you know already. So there's no point in you really focusing on what you already know. You want to focus on what you don't really know. You want to focus on what you don't really know. Yeah. And also focus on tough types of questions. And what I mean by tough types of questions are there are the standard multiple choice questions that you will come across, but there's also different types of questions that you may come across that may be tough for you, such as the drag and drop questions, the ordered response questions, the hot spot questions, the audio. There's many types of questions that the NCLEX can come in. And the NCLEX can provide you with any of those type of questions. It's not just multiple choice you come across on the NCLEX. You come across many different types of questions. So focus on the tough type of questions. So if the fill in the blank is not your strong suit, then focus on that more. If the ordered response is not your strong suit, focus more on that. So just know what areas to focus on when you're preparing to take your NCLEX exam, when you're studying for it. Also, another tip I would like to mention is to pay attention to your timing and your structure when studying for your exam. While you do want to take your time and answer questions correctly, you don't want to also waste too much time, because time is moving. So definitely time management is big when it comes to studying for the exam. You want to really focus on that and make sure that you are in the right time frame when you're doing your practice questions. Also, test yourself with timing. When I say test yourself with timing, I mean set yourself up with a set of practice questions. Pull like a randomized 75 questions from like a test bank or one of your study tools, and time yourself and see how long it takes you to take those 75 questions, and make sure you're in that time frame that the NCLEX requires, because if not, then you're going to have to do some readjusting so that you don't run out of time when you're taking your NCLEX exam. So definitely factor in time management when you're studying for your NCLEX. Another thing I don't want to forget to mention, when you are able to register for your NCLEX exam, this is more of an advice. When you're given the green light to register for your NCLEX exam, don't wait too long to pick a test date, because as soon as, because you have to realize that you're not the only one taking the NCLEX exam. There are a lot of people who are who have graduated or who are preparing to take their NCLEX exam. So as soon as you're given that green light from your school to register for your exam, don't hold off on it. Don't push it to the side. Go on that website that they provide you with, register for your exam, pick a date, because the dates, when I know personally, when I was trying to sign up to take my NCLEX exam, all the dates were pretty much full. within the first 3 months that I was planning to take my exam. So after I graduated, which was in May, I wanted to take my exam like no later than August. So when I was on that website to choose a date, all the dates were, basically chosen already. So that left me with having to book my test date at a further testing site. So you want to factor in all that. If you know you don't want to really drive too far to take your exam, as soon as you're given that green light, go on the website and register and pick a date to take your exam and just work towards that date by studying until you get to that test date. So that's my advice to you guys. I hope this video was very helpful. Just to summarize everything, don't wait too long to take your exam, but do not try to rush and follow the crowd. Go at your own pace. Try not to wait too long so you don't forget everything, but also take as much time as you need to study, if that makes sense. Do your research to know what study material or study tool will work best for you. Make sure you do your research so that you're not going off of what someone else says that helped them that may not help you. So do your research to get the best study material to help you with passing your NCLEX. Study those study guides from nursing school. Work through the practice questions. Do a lot of practice questions. A lot of practice questions, like I keep emphasizing. Time management. Make sure you are factoring in your time when you are studying for your NCLEX exam. So I hope you all found this video helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding the NCLEX-RN exam, please leave them down in the comment box below. I will be answering questions. If this video was very helpful to you, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Thank you all so much for joining Nurse Lee, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.